My name is Adam Barron. I'm the Director of Big Data Quantitative Research at the San Francisco Lab, also known as the StartMind Research Team. And today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Battlefin's Ensemble platform, a company that we've partnered with at Refinitiv to expand our alternative data reach. So when you log into Battlefin, the first thing you'll see is this dashboard. If you go to Catalog, you can see the vast amount of alternative data that is available, 549 data sets. And there's various ways you could filter on this. So if we were going to look at email receipt data, Edison pops up. This on sandbox tag right here means that the data is already preloaded so that you could just jump in and explore it without having to deal with any extra contracts besides the high-level contract you will have signed to get into Ensemble. Edison's an interesting data set that we actually did a study for in September at Battlefin London. They are primarily an email client / productivity tool. And part of their user agreements is that they can derive insights from that data. So what they do is they parse emails, receipts of purchases, and store them into records, such as this anonymized user ID bought $65 worth of Nike sneakers on Amazon. So if you scroll down, you'll see this evaluation section and allow access to this data set. The toggle here, which I've already turned on since I've looked at this data before, lets you see it in your sandbox. Now what the sandbox is basically a Jupyter notebook, except a little bit more locked down than a typical notebook, just so it can comply to the data agreements that all the vendors who agreed to offer their data seamlessly into the sandbox have put forth, meaning you can't upload or download data and such because there needs to be an ability to blow out the data after your trial has ended and so forth. But still, there's a lot you can do within this framework. Here's a bring up a notebook that I created for this Edison study that we presented in London a few months ago. So it basically looks like regular old Python. You can bring in whatever libraries you want, pandas, pandas SQL. The main action happens in this Battlefin library. There's a multitude of functions you can call. We'll see a few here. This get datasets is quite useful, necessary, because that's what you use to see what you're entitled to. So toggling on the Edison button gives you access to these two data sets. We're going to be looking at the KPIs, the key performance indicators. Meanwhile, tons of Refinitiv data, pricing fundamentals, and estimates, the IBES consensus of what the sell-side analysts are predicting at certain companies is there. And we're going to be using that in this quick study example. Part of the analysis is, what we do when looking at predictions is surprises. So people are making predictions, whether it is the sell-side analyst or whether it's Edison, and then eventually the company releases their numbers for those metrics, those measures, and you're either going to be on the nose or you're going to be off of it. And here are just some calculations we do for both to see how close they were. You'll notice, and you can see those here. You'll notice that we don't have the most recent quarters, and that's actually intentional. The sandbox is really just meant for a quick trial of the data. So at Refinitiv, we embargo the most recent quarters. So it's a rolling embargo, which means eventually the data will be available, but you would have to go through one of our formal products if you want the full history to date. But you can find some pretty interesting insights with just what we have here to whet your appetite, and that's the intention. You can look at the data. So what's the orange line here is the actual number reported by the company. What's interesting is when the predictions, IBES in green and Edison in blue, are some on the opposite sides of it, meaning that neither were at the exact number which was reported, but the truth was somewhere in between. So that suggests that perhaps blending the two in some fashion could give you, a better chance of getting closer to the actual. So that's it, a quick taste of how we do, how we quickly analyze alternative data and against traditional Refinitiv data on the Ensemble platform. If you are interested, hopefully you can go on to the platform yourself. This exploration kit should be available for everyone, and you can run through this study, extend it, do your own study. A lot of potential here. So take care. Bye-bye.